Magnus Carlsen, a five-time chess world champion, emerged victorious from his matchup against Hikaru Nakamura to claim the title of champion of the Everything's Masters tournament. Carlsen defeated Nakamura to earn the title. Carlsen won the first event of the season on the Champions Chess Tour and took home £30,000 as a result of his victory in the grand final, which was played on chess.com. Carlsen defeated his great foe by a score of 2.1, 1.5. The victory also guarantees him a spot in tour playoffs, which take place at the end of the season in December. It was Carlsen's second victory in the competition, and it was the second time that the Americans had been defeated by Carlsen. He had defeated the world number 6 earlier in the week in the winners' final, while Nakamura qualified for the grand final by defeating Vasily So in losers' final. Both of these matches took place this week. Carlsen had only dropped one game throughout the entirety of the competition, and it was to an Indian youngster named Arjun Ergesi. Despite this, Carlsen did not feel that he had played his greatest chess. According to chess.com, Carlsen stated that it feels a little bit weird. Overall, I'm a little bit disappointed because I didn't feel like the tournament ever got going. This is one of the reasons why I'm a little bit underwhelmed. However, more exciting things are gonna happen in the future. According to chess.com, international master Tanya Sachdow had this to say about the Carlsen's performance. He was perfect today, from the very beginning to the very end. He gambled when Hikaru's behavior became too dangerous, and he never offered him another opportunity to turn things around. Even in the crucial Game 3, where he was on defense and Hikaru had an opportunity, he displayed an incredible amount of resilience. This victory is one that he has earned 100%. It was unbelievable, and playing like that is exactly why he is the world champion. After 9 years, 5 months, and 8 days, GM Magnus Carlsen's tenure as world champion officially came to an end on Sunday. This marked the end of an era. GM Ding Liren made history when he became China's first ever male FIDE world champion. There have been other Chinese women who have won the title of FIDE Women's World Champion. Here's the conclusion of the initial 14 classical games with a score of 7-7. An exciting quick playoff was held between Ding and GM Ion Nepomniachtchi, in which Ding won 2.5 to 1.5. Carlsen revealed his opinions on the match during an appearance that took place 1 week ago on the Norwegian chess podcast Sjakksnakk, which is run by his friends Askild Bryn and Aden Bulkiravian. Carlsen stated that he was unable to discuss the GM Hans Niemann case because it's still being investigated, but he had plenty more to say throughout the session that lasted about an hour. He responded to questions in his mother tongue regarding his inspiration, the type of chess he plays most often, speed or classical, his personal life, and his opinions on the most promising young players. A question was posed to the former chess world champion about how the loss of his title would affect his identity now that he is no longer in possession of the sport's highest honor. I have the feeling that my identity has already shifted. I had been absent from the World Championship in both my mind and body for quite some time. After the match that I played against Nipu, there was a time when I was positive that it would be my last. Because I don't play as much classical chess as I used to. The number 1 spot on the world rankings used to be very significant to me. However, in recent years, I've realized that this status doesn't mean as much to me as it once did. I'm aware that whenever I decide to play classical music for the first time, I usually perform at a respectable level. However, because I play classical music so infrequently, I have grown a little rusty, he remarked. I have no notion how skilled I am when it comes to traditional chess at the moment. That's something that will be very interesting to try once more. Carlsen is set to compete in just 2 more traditional competitions this year. The Norway Chess, May 29, June 9, when he will face off against GM Hikaru Nakamura, and Qatar Masters October 10 to 20, where he will have the opportunity to defend the title he won in 2015. It certainly wouldn't be a huge surprise if he played for the the Upper Spill Chess Club in the European Club Cup in the first week of October, but with just 15 classical games played so far, 2023 appears likely to become one of the Carlsen's least busy years, excluding fast and blitz events. This prediction is based on the fact that he has played just 15 classical games so far. Carlsen states that he has already begun to put less of an emphasis on the classical, and he provides some intriguing insight as to why he has made this decision. I feel that it's enjoyable on a purely intellectual level to play classical chess. This feeling is based on my experience in my most recent competition, which took place in Wisconsin. It's good to have time to think for a while and work things out, but I'm exhausted from all of the preparation that needs to be done. It's aggravating to have to constantly come up with fresh concepts to make any kind of game at all. If it weren't for that, I think classical chess would have been my favorite of all other types of tournament chess. The situation as it is right now is just too much frustrating, he added. It used to be much simpler, but now it's much more challenging since people have found more or less forced lines in most openings. This is why it used to be much easier. Even with the London system, you need a significant amount of preparation to compete in the current environment. It used to be a line that I played in classical music if I didn't want to prepare or if anything else worked. I thought I always had the London as a backup. You're unable to carry out that action at this time. Carlsen has admitted that he does not currently consider the position to be a crucial, even though the margin between him and the Nepomniachtchi, the world's number 2, on the FIDE rankings remains as high as 59 points. I will make an effort to stay in the first place, preferably by a considerable margin. But because I compete in so few events, I don't think it's as significant as it once was. The majority of the time, it's not at the forefront of my consciousness. He discussed how, ever since 2019, when he had some of the best outcomes of his career and won every tournament he participated in, he hasn't had much of a desire to play classical chess because he has been so successful at the game. I had some preparation for my match in 2018 that worked pretty well, but none of that stuff is applicable anymore, since players mainly play other versions that are much more forcing, and there is nothing that can be done about it. I had some preparation for my match in 2018 that worked very well. Everything beneficial to me in the past is of a little use to me at this point. I anticipate that there will be more hurdles to overcome. Carlsen has been unbeatable in the world of chess for more than a decade, winning 15 world championships and more super tournaments than any other player in the game's illustrious history. He also discussed the shift in his motivation, as well as the decision to abandon the impossible 2900 rating target, which was his lofty ambition that was disclosed concurrently with the relinquishment of his title. The Chessable Masters was the most recent competition that Carlsen participated in. Nakamura was the player who knocked him out of the competition. Did you like it? Tell us what do you think of the video in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting videos.